Well, as you know, I learn something every day, and I am open to learning something every night too. Last last night I fixed dinner for some friends, and I thought I had a whole container of sour cream in the refrigerator, and when I opened it, it was half gone, and so there was about a tablespoon and a half left, and I looked then in the freezer, and I had a whole new. So, as you can see, I haven't fixed my hair today. I had a whole sour cream, and it was frozen. And I took it out and took the top off of it and put it in a bowl of hot water, hoping it would defrost it. And then I got on the internet to find out if you were supposed to freeze sour cream. And any dairy product like that, like cottage cheese or, that kind of dairy product, you're not supposed to really, you can freeze, but it ain't going to be the same when you get it out. And I figured I found that out. If you put it in the microwave, you have to do it in little tiny increments, you know, 5 minutes at a time. And then it will not have the creamy consistency. And even when it defrosts naturally, which this did, it turns out to be liquid. So it's best, I would say, just don't buy too much sour cream at a time because it does mold eventually. And you can use what's under the mold, it's still fine because that's what it is. It's does like yogurt, it's the next stage of milk, whatever that is. And then during dinner last night, I was listening to two very smart men talk, and one of them said, we have created something that is smarter than we are. And I got to thinking about that. And he said, the algorithms that are produced from what we put on Facebook and what our credit cards do, all these things, what we buy at the grocery store with our credit cards. And there are things that the algorithms can say and know that artificial intelligence can use that we don't even know ourselves. We say, don't give out your Social Security card, and yet every doctor we go to requires it. And every time we use our credit card, it records our information. And when we buy gas, Kroger's knows what groceries I buy. They literally send me coupons for the things that they know I buy. And everything we say or do can be published these days. I just for fun one day looked on Google for my own name. There was stuff on there I would not have chosen. Wasn't any bad thing. It was just information that I didn't particularly want the public to have. Is there, Now you know too. It is true that we are victims of our own stuff, And there are Bible quotes on the internet that are incorrect. Words that have been left out, sentences that have been rearranged. You need to go to the real Bible, and if it's possible, go to one that's 20 years old. Something that you know for sure has been translated right and not been done to please the world. They are literally changing the words of things to please the world. We are not to be of this world. We are to be separated from this world. And every little bit of knowledge that we have is important, and we need to be aware of it. You're just living in a time. I'm living in a time. You know, I remember when we didn't have any kind of toaster, but one that the sides flip down. You put a piece of toast, you flip the side back up, and it toasted. Pop-up toasters and pop-up toaster. We had television, and now we have, you know, a remote television. Now where we can record television. All those things happened in my lifetime. And GPS, I remember when we had to use maps. You know, I remember when we had to have the phone connected to the wall and a party line. Everything changes, and it is constant. And now the car is driving itself practically, you know. You just really have to stay in a learning mode or decide to isolate yourself. And I don't want you to do that. Stay in a learning mode and stay alert to what God said, not anybody else. God said, I will never leave you or forsake you. He meant that. There are all kinds of things in the Bible that seem like doubt and distress and tragedies, and yet God said 365 times, do not fear, do not worry. God bless you today.